top story, Nick?
The Prime Minister is in Germany today, where he'll have one-on-one talks with Chancellor Olaf Scholz.
Sorry, I was winking at Quentin Letts. Did you see that? Was really embarrassing. The trip is the second half of Rishi Sunak's defence tour.
I told you, he's always flirting.
He was in Poland yesterday with NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg, where he announced a major boost for UK defence spending. You have a listen while I stop winking.
I believe we must do more to defend our country, our interests and our values. So today I'm announcing the biggest strengthening of our national defence for a generation. We will increase defence spending to a new baseline of 2.5% of GDP by 2030. That starts today and rises steadily in each and every year. Over the next 6 years, we'll invest an additional £75 billion in our defence. And it will be fully funded with no increase in borrowing or debt.
Well, parliamentary sketch writer Quentin Letts is here with us now. Quentin, first of all, I hope you feel OK after Jeremy winked at you. I will be reporting it to HR, but I don't know if it was welcomed.
I'm used to it.
Of course
He likes a wink. He's all right, he's cool.
What do you make of that announcement?
We are on a war footing. I wouldn't have used the term war footing as the spin doctors were doing. However, I think this is a serious and important policy. I think it is a wise policy, and I hope that this is the idea behind it as well, that it will encourage other NATO countries to follow suit. Because it's not just us. We can't ourselves take on the likes of Russia, but NATO can. And the United States has been pressuring NATO for some time, going, come on, you other members, lift your contributions. And Trump was very good on that. And
but he was, and he got slaughtered. But the truth of the matter is, yesterday
I don't think he got slaughtered.
They cleared 90.6 billion. I think we have every right. He's in Germany today, Sunak.
Yeah.
They're about 1.5% of GDP.
Yeah.
So actually, Europe needs to step up. Trump is right on that.
Yes, of course he's right, and so is Sunak. And this move yesterday will make it hard for the other NATO countries not to do similar.
You know me, I'm always straight and to the point. What I don't get about yesterday, and I'd love to put this to you because you're always in Parliament, asking a lot of people to too little, too late. 3 weeks ago, Quentin, we had a budget, right? Well, they decided to talk about tax cuts. It became patently obvious to the British people who have wised up a bit, I think. They'll go, oh, give us a tax cut, we're going to have to pay it back. Why wasn't this announced then? This is pure electioneering. It has to be pure electioneering. Come on. Why wasn't it done 3 weeks ago?
This is not unpolitical.
No, absolutely.
However...
is it a good political move?
I think it's a very good political move. Big geopolitical move.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we're a bit too sceptical, I think, about our politicians and just saying it's all about Tories v Labour. Sunak is the sort of bloke who will only do things when he's seen the sums are there. And he's a very
He's added it all up.
He's a very linear politician. I mean, some of this is similar to what Boris Johnson said 2 years ago, but Boris was just pulling stuff out of the air, whereas Sunak has actually seen the Treasury evidence. He's got the Treasury on side as well, which is a big difference.
Yeah.
So those are some of the reasons. And also the budget is more to do with next year's budget, isn't it? This is a much longer reaching estimation. But yes, it's political. There's nothing wrong with that.
To what extent do you think this could be, Rishi, laying a trap for Labour on the presumption that they may win the next general election? Well,
I think, again, I'm as prepared as you to be sceptical about politicians.
Sure.
But I think there have to sometimes come a point where you have to accept that politicians are doing things not just because of the sort of calculations about electioneering. And actually, you could argue, in a way, it would make more sense for the Conservatives not to do this, because then they could devote the money to something else.
Sure.
But yes, it's going to make it harder.
Around. I mean, what Nick's right about is, I mean, Starmer's already come out this morning and said 2.5. You could argue, as somebody did earlier, Quentin, that he knows he's probably going to lose the next election. This is about legacy. He was the guy that increased defence spending. All those.
It's not just about it's to do with actually what is the correct.
What is right? Yeah, I get that.
And there's a serious threat to us from Russia, from Iran, less perhaps so immediate militarily from North Korea and China, but this is overdue. And does it make life harder for Labour? Yes, I think it does, because it means that they cannot now say, oh, we're going to splurge the money on something else.
Couple of things we'd love your opinion on. First, the sad news about an hour ago that Lord Field of Birkenhead, Frank Field, we were both saying, a pioneer, somebody who believed in things, didn't matter his political persuasion, good man, good politician.
I've got one of Frank's books. I knew him, I loved him, he was a nice chap. And I looked at one of his books yesterday and I thought, how is Frank? And it must have been about the same time he was dying. He was a really good egg. He was an interesting Anglican, very interested in the church. I used to stop and have a talk to Frank occasionally, and he'd say things, and then I'd come away not knowing at all what he thought. He was he wasn't the most sort of pulsatingly direct of politicians, but he was very thoughtful, and he was a Christian gent.
Yeah,
That's
lovely.
nice
Well,
to
there's
hear.
some tributes have been flooding in. Common Speaker Lindsay Hall said, suffice to say, he was one of a kind and he will be sorely missed. Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting saying, a great parliamentarian, crusader for social justice and source of wise counsel. What a blessing to have known him and benefited from his advice and kindness, even as his illness gripped him.
And he was rather badly treated by Jeremy Corbyn as well.
Interesting. I didn't know about that.
Let's move on to something that I've got a bug about, and I've asked everybody this question for 2 weeks, Quentin.
Far ahead.
I don't mind Angela Rayner. I think she's a breath of fresh air. I find it astonishing.
She was.
When her party is that far in front in the polls that somebody doesn't say to her, just release this damn information and put this away. This afternoon, Deputy Prime Minister's questions, that's worked out quite well. I mean, this is going to be raised, and I don't understand, but I have this feeling, and people look at me like I'm mad, I'll get it from you. This suits Starmer. He doesn't like her at all, does he?
Well, I think he likes.
that's
I don't know
spot
if I don't know if he dislikes her personally.
But he wouldn't mind if she wasn't around.
He would not mind. I mean, actually, I think he's stupid about that because I think she has a connection with people in the way that stuffy old the nasal knight certainly doesn't. But she undoubtedly has a problem about this. And she and the Labour Party have a problem because every time a shadow minister now goes on television, they get asked about Angela Rayner's.
I asked Emily Thornbury this morning, and it was quite interesting. She went, "Well, that's some."
Yeah, I mean, they can't keep on doing this.
Emily.
And you know, the sums involved here are not enormous, and we've all perhaps had difficulty filling out our tax forms. But the problem for them is that Rayner has chucked so much mud around at other people for being less than careful with their tax affairs and other matters. That, you know, it's the old political thing of hypocrisy. That's what's done her.
Well, thank you so much.
We love
for
you,
joining
Quentin.
us,
Thank you so
Letts.
much.